Welcome back, folks. Alrighty, so we now have our luminous stones. The next logical step would be go to Kakariko and get the radiant armor. But honestly, I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to sidestep and go to Hateno Village first. Now that sounds a little bit backwards, because in Breath of the Wild I went to Kakariko first. But in this game there's a reason to go to Hateno first. And that is because when we get to Kakariko, in order to buy the stealth suit and the radiant suit, we need 30,000 rupees. Nobody has 30,000 rupees. Nobody wants to spend 30,000 rupees. So instead what we need to do is a little side quest once we get there to get the cost of those uniform items back down to their normal price. In order to do that side quest, we're going to need a couple of cooking ingredients that are both available in, you guessed it, Hateno Village. Matter of fact, one of those items is rice, Hylian rice, so you might not even need to buy it. You know, sometimes we just get it by accident chopping around at the grass, you know, trying to kill enemies or whatever. So guys, I'm actually taking a second to look for any, which I'm not having any luck with, sneaky river snails. Sometimes you'll see them in the water here. But as you saw, I just got a whole bunch of swift violets off that waterfall. There's actually a rushroom there too. But, Korok seed. Could have sworn I just saw one. And you might be wondering where we're at, what we're doing, so I'll go ahead and show you on the map here. We're right by the Dueling Peaks stable. And what I'm going to be doing is getting my horse, and make sure you have the harness attached to that horse, because there's going to be 3 Korok seeds we're going to be getting on the way to Hateno that require transport. So we're going to be the transporter pretty much this entire length of the video. Okay, again, make sure you've got that harness attached. If it's not already, take a moment to do that. Alright, so what I'm going to do, first thing with my horse here, is put a little kind of sled attachment on the back. It doesn't have to be super elaborate or fancy. Matter of fact, you can even use a longer pole there, as long as the Korok will be able to attach to it. But I don't like to use a big piece of wood because it tends to get hung up on things and it can get ripped off as you're trying to run through stuff like trees or whatever. Alright guys, so very first Korok seed. I need to find my friend. So I actually just got done recording this video. And then I went to go push the stop recording button and realized I never started recording. So all I've been doing for the last hour is having great conversations with myself. It's pretty awesome. Alright, first thing I want to do is get this bad boy nest. Now, just to kind of show you on the map. Oh, you might notice I have more map now than I used to. I took the liberty of warping over here to that tower we got a bit ago with the ice dragon. And I wanted the map for where we were going. Because honestly, for this walkthrough, there's so much to it. Getting to Hateno, I wanted to have the map for you guys. So I did just kind of fly straight over there. I opened the tower and activated it, got the map. But that's literally all I did over there. And just so you all know, it takes 6 full wheels of stamina to get over there. So if you want the map, make sure you've got some stamina packed for that flight. There's a Hudson puzzle and another Korok seed there. The Korok that we're carrying right now belongs over here. There's also a cave entrance right by that. We're going to be hitting that cave. I'm going to kill that Hinox because I want the parts. There's another there's another Korok seed here. There's another Korok seed here. Another one here. They are all over the place. There's another bad boy nest with some Captain Constructs here. So for right now, that's kind of where we're going. This way I don't have to open the map every time I do something new. Alright, so I'm going to go to that red marker first, and that's going to be our Hudson puzzle and our Korok seed. Now this Hudson puzzle, guys, the very first walkthrough I ever played, I nailed it right away. It was easy. You just put the boulder in there and, you know, life is good. Ever since then, every single time I've played up to this point, I've never been able to do it again. I've always had to build some kind of ridiculous contraption, so I'm going to try it. Oh, and by the way, on the last, non-recording recording that I just did, I did not get it to work the first time. I had to play with it a little. So anyway, there's a boulder that you can pick up, and there's an angle that matches the angles of those two planks. So now you're probably going to have to twist this thing, like diagonally, to get two of those angles to line up with the sign. So all you should have to do now is put the boulder in there. Now again, that's what I did on my very first walkthrough, or playthrough, and it worked. Let's see what happens. Alright, I'll freaking do the whole thing. So basically, it's not gonna, just be nice to me. But it's probably good that it's not letting me, because if I'm having that much trouble getting it to work, that means you guys are having that much trouble getting it to work. And I should probably just show you the right way anyway, to be honest. Okay, so what I like to do here is get two pieces of wood stuck together, but like to where they're together. So, more parallel with each other, like that should work. And then same type of deal though, you still need the rock to match the angle. And you want it to be able to go all the way in there. That's not right. Bear with me here while I get this thing figured out again. Alright, so what you want to do is kind of get it in there, nestled nice and snug. And then this is basically going to be the platform that holds the rock up. So once we're holding the rock up, then we should be able to, hold the sign up. But you want that attach point to be in the front, and that's not letting me do it right now. I wonder if that'll actually hold it up. I guess we're about to find out. Well, it wasn't pretty, but it did the job. Alright, so that was only a little painful. From here, I'm actually going to go kill that Koroks. Now, you can eat an attack power meal here and save a little bit of damage on the bow, but it's only a shot or two, so I just wing it without the attack power. I'm already wearing... Actually, I'm not wearing my Barbarian shirt. That is a fail. Whoopsie, wrong buttons. Okay, so our good friend the Korok should be right out here somewhere, and I'm going to pretty much take him down with only my Savage Lionel bow. So if you guys were able to get that thing, awesome, If not, don't sweat it. We'll get one here another way. Actually, a lot of you guys are already kind of commenting about the Mugdilla Jaw attached to a Royal Guard Claymore with the Radiant set upgraded twice and attack power meal on top of that. Yeah. That thing is a beast, guys. It is absolutely just devastating. So if you had trouble killing that Lionel in my last video, or whenever that was, a couple videos ago, fret not. I'm going to show you guys an even quicker way to kill that thing. It is crazy. Alright, something I actually wanted to do also in this video, in addition to the stuff I've already talked about, barbarian armor and, whatever, is show you guys the different uses for shields. Now that I've actually got freaking Topaz, hold on, let me take care of this nuisance first. I was going to do this a long time ago, show you guys the shield stuff, but in my mind I was going to get a Topaz any day now, and then it just never happened. So now that I've finally got a Topaz, this is probably a good video to do all that in. Alright, so I mentioned there's different uses for different shields. What I like to do, now I've got 3 good glistening shields there. That one's got damage on it, but these 3 do not. So what I'm going to do is attach elemental gemstones to those, because they're good and durable. And yeah, you're using a gemstone, but, it's only one of each, so it's not terrible. And then I also like to throw 2... Well, I'm going to wait on the Puffshrooms. I'm going to... make sure I'm doing the right shields here. Alright, and then I'm going to toss down 2 Puffshrooms for my last 2 shields, and I'll show you why. Alright, so last 2 shields, whoops, will be Puffshroom Shields. Not that the Puffshrooms do anything super great, it's just more of an emergency situation kind of deal. Alright, so normally I don't just go into combat only holding up a shield, but in this case I'm actually going to do just that. So you could also actually do an Opal Shield. The Opal does water damage, so it's not great. It doesn't freeze the enemies. It doesn't really do anything else for that matter. The only thing it really does do is if the enemy is holding, say, a wooden stick that's on fire, and they hit your Opal Shield, it'll extinguish the flames that's on their weapon. But honestly, the Sapphire Shield does the exact same thing, so that's why I don't bother with the Opal. So anyway, I will do a couple of rounds of combat, taking that shield out and kind of showing you guys what I'm talking about, different effects with the shields. But, you know, long story short, it's pretty much the same stuff that you're already probably thinking it's going to do. The Sapphire Shield will freeze the enemy when it hits it. The Topaz Shield will shock the enemy when he hits it and they'll drop their weapons. And the the Ruby Shield will catch your enemy on fire. But in addition to that, it also lights your environment on fire. So if you're in grass like this, that's a good and a bad thing at the same time. So it's going to light the grass on fire, which is great for an updraft, and then you can do some bow and arrow damage in the air. But it's bad because you're going to be standing in the fire and probably take a little fire damage. So in those situations, what I'll do is I'll use the Ruby Shield, let him hit me, light everything on fire, I'll run out of the flames, and then I'll kind of jump into the flames to get my updraft. And, you know, I'll probably be too busy trying to multitask to talk about all that when I'm actually fighting. So I thought it was a good idea to just kind of talk about that a little bit beforehand. Okay, now I've already taken care of those constructs on the other side. So for right now, I'm going to go straight to that cave and get rid of this Korok seed that I've been carrying around for far too long. I need to find my friend. Alright, I mentioned there was a cave entrance right by that Koroks. Alright, now this is a pretty small cave. It's just one big open room, but it's kind of like a double-decker. So there's a cave like under the cave, and that's where our bullfrog will be hiding. Oh yeah, I didn't even talk about the Zonite bow. How do you guys like that? Like, that was in that cave, or the shrine I said. That was just a blessing on the, where was that? The Sky Archipelago. You know what? I'm gonna show you guys a shield here real fast. That was pretty awesome. Hit me! Thank you! Alright, so again, self-explanatory. You get an auto-freeze effect out of that if you're, you know, letting an enemy hit your shield there. Now, it's got, like I said, it's got durability to it, but another thing it's got to it is a little bit of a blast radius. So it's really cool. If you got like, if you're getting swamped and, you know, there's a whole bunch of enemies all around you, it's pretty cool to be able to use that. You can freeze, you know, 2 or maybe even 3 or 4 of them sometimes all at once. And that's, again, only one hit to the shield. So that only helps prolong the shield's durability when you let them all get good and close to each other. Alright, I think this is just going to be a shield. Ah, check that out. Not sure if I broke that yet. I honestly don't know. Actually, I can get rid of that, because now that I have a ruby shield, I no longer need to keep a ruby weapon in my inventory for temperature control. The shield, that's another use for these things. If I'm in a cold region, I'm wearing the one piece of cold weather clothing there. The ruby shield does the exact same thing as the ruby weapon would, and it bumps me up to higher level cold protection. So a really awesome feature of the shields. I do still like to keep the sapphire rod, just because it has a really good blast radius to it when I want to freeze a whole bunch of enemies all at the same time. But beyond that, the shield does, you know, a lot of the same thing. And it also helps cool you down in hot regions. So now that treasure chest that just lit up, that's just some kind of silly, like, gnarled stick or something. Y'all can get it if you want it. There's quite a few gemstone nodes in here as well. I am going to take a minute to get those. Now, last time I played this cave, you know, when I was doing my non-recording recording, I actually got a diamond out of one of these bad boys, and I got all excited, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm making this video work, and then there was no video. Trials of life, trials of life. Alright, there are a couple more nodes. I really will spread out here. So I'm not getting a diamond today, that's okay. Next time I will make sure I pushed the record button. Alright, so you might have already noticed like that little breakable wall. That's where our good friend the Bubble Frog is hiding. Now, I really haven't talked about the bubble gems a whole lot. Maybe a comment or two here and there in passing, but the main reason I've been taking the time to go all these different caves and get all these bubble gems, there's a series of goodies we can collect from Killian or Kilton's brother, whatever his name is. But we need bubble gems for that. So what's going to happen is when we find this guy at night, and that's going to be here on the way to Hateno, actually. So it's coming up here real soon. Okay, so now you're going to have to ascend out of this cave twice, guys. Okay, so once you've ascended the second time, you'll be right about here. So continuing on toward my pins there is our next Korok seed. So yeah, the bubble gems, they are going to be fed to that brother I mentioned, and that's going to kind of start a series of items we can buy. Now, some of it's going to be riffraff and stuff we don't really want, but you kind of have to buy it anyway so that we can progress to the stuff that we do want. And what I do want is that rupee suit, super suit. And it's just kind of nice to have, but honestly, it's more of a later game item to actually use, because what's going to happen is when you get hit, you'll take no damage, but you'll lose rupees. So it's like you have to pay for the privilege of not taking heart damage. So you can kind of see already why that's going to be more of a later game item that you'll want to use. And the main reason, guys, is suit upgrades. You know, speaking of the subject here, you know, in Breath of the Wild, when we all got to the Great Fairy Fountain, the fourth one, and we saw that price tag of 10,000 rupees, and we all pooped a purple Twinkie, and we were like, oh my god, that's a lot of rupees. Okay, honestly, that's cheaper. Honestly, I wish in this game they just charged us the 10,000 rupees up front, because to upgrade suits to the highest level, it costs about 3,000 per set. And it might not seem like a lot when you're only spending 50 rupees, you know, in the beginning. But it gets expensive fast. So, that being said, you know, you want to try to kind of conserve your rupees as best as possible and not be spending them on saving yourself a little bit of heart damage. Alright guys, so you saw the Korok seed there. Now notice all these fish. These mighty fish were also here in Breath of the Wild, so same type of party here as that game. I'm going to go down, scoop these things up on the way, and I'm actually going to completely, purposefully run myself out of stamina when I get into the water, and that's so that I can be automatically teleported right back to the top of this cliff wall. Because honestly, this climb is a beast. So, if I'm not going to be able to teleport back up there, I'm just not going to go back up there. Oh yeah, also, you might see some fish in this river that are, you know, worthwhile to get. But anyway, I said I'm going to run myself out of stamina on purpose, and that's fine, you can do that. Just make sure you're not down to only 1 heart. There is a 1 heart penalty for drowning. So in order to get the benefit of, you know, drowning and getting shot back up to the top of the cliff, we're also going to have to be careful about how much health we've got. And this Korok is not going to help me in that department. Oh wow, they really spread themselves out. I might actually have to eat a little here. So yeah, you can see I got some stamina too. You know, it's not just about the mighty fish. And this ought to do me. Oh, a little safety tip. When you shoot a shock arrow into the water, be a good distance from it. If you're too close to the water, it's got quite a bubble on that shock radius. So if you're close enough to the water, you're going to get caught up in your own shock arrow, and that's just not a good day. Alright, so go ahead and get your Korok seed while we're here. And it's nighttime in my game, which is really cool, but I think by the time I get to Kilton's or Killian's brother, it's not going to be nighttime anymore, because that's a good distance away. Okay, there's another Swift Violet here. And I think there's another one over here, yep. Alright guys, so again, sticking with the shields, I'm going to do a little bit more shielding than I normally would in a game. But I'm also going to show you the reason for the Puffshrooms. Now those aren't durable and they don't last, but they're kind of there for when you need them in a pinch. You can kind of just, you know, because it takes time to open your inventory, get a weapon ready to throw, go find the Puffshroom, and then, you know, it takes a second to get the Puffshroom thrown. So if you're in a situation where you just need, like, that ninja effect, like right now, all you've got to do is, you know, open your shield inventory, get to one of those 2 shields, pop that bad boy out in a hurry, and bam, you'll have the same deal. You'll have your ninja effect. So to me, it's just kind of a good, it's a quicker way to get a Puffshroom out onto the battlefield than actually tossing one out. Alright, so again, I'm going to do a little bit more stuff with shields here just to kind of demonstrate that. Matter of fact, I'm going to freeze this first guy and then just kill him. Take your time, buddy. It's okay, we got all day. We got literally all day for this. Okay, speaking of getting Hillian rice for free, check that out. But this is really what I'm here is for the captain parts. Okay, so here's another captain. Okay, so let's say you're in a pickle now. You know, you're getting kind of swamped. So again, all you have to do is break out that shield and let... Oh no! You gotta put the two-handed weapon away first. I kind of forgot about that. Alright, so again, it's a good, quick... You know, get you to safety, kind of reset the battlefield. And at this point, you can either just go in and kill him, or... You know, just kind of get yourself safe and do it another way, but... Yeah, I kind of forgot. I was using a two-handed weapon there, and you can't use a shield with those. I'm a real genius. I do also want to demonstrate what I was talking about, the fire. Maybe I can kind of get this guy to come back over here where there's some grass. The only bad thing is you have to have the flammable material under you, or it does you no good. Alright, so again, I would run out of the flame so you don't, you know, save yourself the flame damage. And then bam, you've got your bow and arrow out, you're in the air. It really is the next best thing for Revali's Gale, guys. Like, this is the Revali's Gale in the Tears of the Kingdom. You know, at the end of the day. Not only do you get the updraft, but it also did some damage on the monster, as you can see. Alright, so that's pretty much my shields speech. And guys, like I said, I would have shown you that a long time ago, but that's why I kept complaining about no Topaz. Like, it was ridiculous. I thought I would have had that a long time ago, and I wanted to show you everything at once, and it just wasn't working out. And as it turns out, I haven't even shown you the Topaz shield yet, but I will. Alright, since we did all that work, go ahead and get your treasure chest. And I can't remember now what I said the first time I didn't record, and the second time I'm actually recording now. So if I say the same thing, you know, more than once, forgive me in advance for that. I'd rather say it twice, though, than assume I said it in this video and not the last, and then not say it at all. Alright guys, so at this point, I can delete that pin. That was that Korok seed we actually shot from a distance there. Now I'm going to mark a whole bunch of other stuff. We've got a Korok seed here. There's actually one here, but I'm not going to get him yet because he's another transportation guy. I need to find my friend. That one's a balloon we can pop. But this one, that whole Korok seed is going to reset itself after we go in this cave. And this is where we're heading, folks. That is our Barbarian Helm. There's another Korok seed right about here. And I think that's pretty much it. Yes. Not really too much else up here in the mountains. A couple of little bad boy nests, maybe another rush room or two, but all in all, it wasn't really worth the time to go collect it, especially considering this is probably already going to be a pretty long video. But you're welcome to kind of explore the mountains here if you want. Now, there's a bad boy nest over here. That's actually part of a side quest, but we can't do that yet because the guys we need to talk to aren't here in our game at this point. So at some point, I'm going to have to circle back here and do that little side quest so that we can get some fabric. And I can't remember what the name of it is. It's like the Monster Camp fabric or something, or the Monster Hunters fabric. Oh yeah, did you guys notice there was a treasure chest on top of the stone pillar? It's just like a Mind's Eye shield or something, so I just don't bother with it. But it is up there if y'all want it. Okay, there are a couple of quick rush rooms here that I do need to get, because I cooked all of mine earlier on in the game for demonstration purposes. Okay, so if you want that chest, that's a good way to do it. That Korok seed I mentioned, I'll go ahead and scoop that up now. Looks like these guys are all dead, or excuse me, sleeping. Which I guess is kind of good. They won't be if that stupid stall monster gets close enough to them all. Man, he is just not gonna quit, is he? Alright, well honestly, since they're all asleep, I don't know, I'll just go ahead and kill them all. In fact, I'm gonna have to if I want to get my horse through here. Alright, so normally this is a great muddle bud situation. Why? Because there's just so doggone many of them. This really is kind of a hornet's nest. So I absolutely like to... Actually, I am gonna muddle bud them because I want to show you more shield stuff. So make sure you hit the black bodkins. Those guys are going to do a lot of damage in this bad boy nest. You know, the thing I like about the muddle buds is it saves on your weapons. It saves on your inventory. It's just real nice to have it so you can kill a really big nest like this without really having to do it all yourself with your own inventory and with your own weapons. So it is just a really nice feature. Oh, that dude is locked onto me, isn't he? That's unfortunate. So I'm just going to let them kind of go at each other for a bit. Hey, look at those two there. That was pretty good. Ow! That guy's still after me? Jeepers! Uh-oh. It's shield time! Oh, yeah. Topaz Shield. Getting ahead of myself. Now the cool thing about this is it drops their weapon. So like, let's say I had a couple of spaces in my inventory. I could literally just hold that shield out and collect their weapons as they're hitting me. Which is really cool because not only, you know, do you do damage and disarm them, but you're also getting weapons you might need in the process, and you're taking away their ability to use a weapon against you. But I didn't think ahead, so of course I don't have the spaces to, you know, collect whatever they're holding. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do one more muddle bud here. See how much more damage they can do to each other. Man, those guys are just locked onto me, aren't they? So I guess they're... Oh, there they go. Tastes great, less filling. Tastes great, less filling. Tastes great, less filling. Tastes great! Less filling! Less filling! Less filling! Ho ho! Less filling 1! Alright, that was fun. And again, guys, I just saved a ton of damage on my weapons, just, you know, using, what, 5 or 6 Muddle Buds. So, you know, big bad boy nests like this, yeah, it's fun to go in with bow and arrow, yeah, it's fun to go in just cranking, you know, super ridiculous strong weapons, but I don't know, I just find that that saves me a lot of time farming, having to go back, you know, scoop up better weapons, etc. Alright, don't forget your Silent Princess. Got your monument there. Now you can actually bust up these spiky wooden thingies. And I like to do that for 2 reasons. 1, to get my horse through here. And 2, because I tend to walk into the doggone things on repeat. So yeah, I just like to get rid of them. Okay, I'm actually doing pretty good on bows right now. Come on. Okay, that should get my horse through. I don't really want any of this riffraff. Okay, so remember I said in my Lionel video I was using all those up because I'd be getting lots and lots of them coming up. Yeah, holy guacamole, we've already gotten a few, and then the cave with the 3rd piece of Barbarian armor is going to have quite a lot as well. So we're going to be getting lots of them horns replenished. Alrighty. Once you get your horse through, I'm actually going to kind of step off for a moment and do a little bit of farming around here. There's a few of these honeys. And there's some stam shrooms, amongst a couple other things. Oh, another cool thing about the shield, I don't know if this happened in the last video or this one, so I'm just going to say it anyway. But all you have to do is take 1 hit to your shield, and if there's like 4 or 5 chews, you know, all over the place, and they're all close enough, that 1 hit to the shield will not only freeze all of them, but it will also kill all of them, and automatically give you a bunch of free ice arrow ammunition. So just lots and lots of uses for these awesome shields. Okay, I mentioned there were these mushrooms. I thought there were a couple more over there. Might have already picked them up. In fact, I think I just did that. It's all bleeding together, guys. Forgive me. And it's getting late. Way past my bedtime. Okay, so just like in BOT dubs, got the honey trees here in this area. Oh, lots of good fishing too in this river. I usually find the attack power fish, the God, man, my brain ain't working. The fans, armor, there. The armored fish, stamina fish. So not a bad river to farm if you're in need. Okay, there are some goodies on the inside of this house. In addition to the loose stuff, take a moment to bust all these other things up. The barrels, they usually have food items in them. And one of the items that we actually need to get the cost of those uniform items down that I mentioned was the Hylian rice that we just picked up. So that's a way to actually just do it for free. You don't even have to go to Hateno to buy that. The thing I'm really going to Hateno to buy is the milk. Not only, you know, the Hylian rice here for free, but you can also just go out and chop grass. Eventually you'll get it for free. Alright guys, so I'm going to call my horse one more time here. That's pretty much it for this little spot. Oh, and you also saw those 2 blue rupees I got out of them pots. Not a bad deal. Okay, this is that Korok seed I was talking about earlier, so just go ahead and leave him be for now. I got that pin pretty... doggone it. I got that pin pretty close to him. I just wanted to put that there as a reminder Because me and my getting ahead of myself all the time, I tend to kind of forget to come back and get him until I've gotten to Hateno, and then it's, you know, too late. And I never bother coming back for him. Too far. Okay, but we can go and get him for now. And guys, I'm going to go ahead and break video when we get to the cave. For one, that takes a few minutes to get through anyway, but for two, I think this video's already gone on kind of long enough. So this way we kind of all get a break. Use the restroom. Make a phone call, whatever. Okay, there are some goodies here to pick up. Do beware the tree. Happy trees. Although that was not a happy tree. I've never actually seen beetles spawn here. I think that was Breath of the Wild I keep thinking about when I start getting the urge to like start, you know, toe tipping around looking for beetles. Okay, so once we've got our Korok seed, you can actually see the cave entrance right in front of us there. Oh yeah, I haven't had any luck getting this blue bee lately. Let's see if I have any better now. He's been spotting me early lately. I don't know what the deal is. Normally I can sneak up on him really good. Okay, I got him that time. I guess I'm just walking too fast or something when I'm not enough directly behind him. Alright guys, again, here's our cave entrance. Hope that helps. Best of luck and happy hunting.